Savvy Iron Range, containing large amounts of iron ore, is found in Minnesota.
Found in Minnesota. Okay. Welcome in, guys. So yes, the start of this video was my son receiving a card, a reward card for his homeschooling event. Something about digging for treasure, digging for rewards. He even got a geode. So I thought it was very significant that it was iron, and I just wanted to include that because everything is directing us and guiding us to decisions. You know, they talk about implants or being exposed to certain words. You can think of an elephant all day long, and you're going to eventually end up watching or getting something that was like an elephant. I'm getting that you're beginning to catch on to imprints and how you can imprint yourself and set yourself up for success. Okay? You are the phoenix. And what's really cool about this was I looked up and I had grabbed this deck to pull from today, and it has a phoenix on it, the judgment card. And the research that I was led to do yesterday is about the third decan of Scorpio. So keep in mind the iron, the mineral of iron, what impurities or purifications it has to go through in order to become, I think, steel. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. There's something about that. But that just happened, so I haven't done any research or looked deeper into it, but I'm sure it has to do with some kind of alchemical process or state of form or form of state, I don't know, of matter. This is one of the 6 little kittens that Luna, my cat, gave birth to. So you guys can say hi, feel her high vibes. Oh, my bad, I forgot about the microphone. But let's get into this. So, Scorpio, 3rd decan, 26 degrees to 30 degrees. It was really weird how I was led to this information, but when I get the inkling that I should make a note of it, I do, because it always leads to something amazing. And some kind of epiphany or a bit of information that helps me understand energies that are playing a role for the collective or myself. So the ruler is Venus, and it's a co-ruler of this decan. So it shares a rulership on this decan. So if early Scorpio is the scorpion fighting for survival, and mid-Scorpio is the snake shedding its skin and evolving, we're in the year of the snake. Timeless reading though. Then 26 degrees to 30 degrees Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the ashes, mastering emotional alchemy, turning pain into divine love or wisdom. Ooh, I'm getting a lot of activity in my lower chakras right now. So the completion of shadow work. This is what, if you're listening to this is exactly, it's 11/11, so confirmation. You've gone through betrayal, loss, transformation, and regeneration, and you're emerging with inner peace, compassion, and spiritual clarity. Because you have went through this evolution of the scorpion, the snake, and the phoenix. Now, for me, I personally can more relate to, I know what this says, but scorpion, snake, eagle, then the phoenix. Because it's like they want us to skip over a very important part in that eagle phase, seeing from a higher perspective and being fully enveloped in the subconscious and seeing things for really what they are, and other people not being able to relate or understand where you're coming from. It's all coming together. You came to that's why. Is that why that was there? Acceptance. You're coming to a point of acceptance of exactly where you are, which is allowing you to emerge as this phoenix rising from the ashes. 4:55. This is where you stop identifying as the wound and you start embodying the healer. The poison becomes the medicine. Your poison is becoming medicine. This is alchemy at its best, at its finest. Venus influence, the sacred heart. Venus brings softness to Scorpio's intensity, turning obsession into devotion. I love this. I love this part. And desire into divine connection. This Decan teaches emotional intimacy that transcends control, emerging two souls without losing individuality. It's often linked to tantric energy, soulmate, twin flame dynamics, and the integration of the masculine and feminine polarities within. Depending on where you are at on this timeline, if you've already integrated your masculine and feminine and had that spiritual union within yourself, and you have been guided and you get a lot of messages about twin flames, then this is that next step. You know, there's constant evolutions and steps on these twin flames. And of course, you and your said partner, for this lifetime, you both have to have already come into union with your masculine and feminine in order for you to be at the right frequency to meet. Karmic dissolution and the power through surrender. That's what I'm saying. Like acceptance. This is where I'm at. I'm surrendering. I'm letting go. I do want better. I'm grateful for everything that I have. And that's helping your energetic field kind of give that boost to continue forward. Because this is a late degree, there's often a sense of accumulation of karmic lessons. A lot of things have been coming up about lessons being fully integrated and crystallizing so that you can move on to the next step. That's what the collective is doing. I see it on a massive level. I don't know if any of you guys have been noticing it, but I feel the change everywhere on the collective. And there was a part of me that was like, oh my gosh, everybody's now learning what I had known for so long. But I also didn't believe enough in myself to come out and support that knowledge and that wisdom, because I did have filters and layers of traumas, of insecurities, of limiting beliefs, because I took other people's perspectives and opinions and took them on as my own, instead of being like, no, if it's not a hell yes, then it's a hell no. You know, we need to have that huge excitement, and who cares if we hurt people's feelings? That's, you know, we've been coddled way too much. That's why we have way too many people pleasers and not enough people that are loving themselves. If somebody does not love themselves, if you see any inkling or subtleties that they don't appreciate themselves and their life, keep moving. Do not waste your time. We're there just to exist and be present. They'll get something from your frequency, just from you being there and holding space for all of creation. Like, just love, you know, not needing to understand where they're coming from, just knowing that a lot of people are hurt. And not taking things personally will really help push things forward. I don't know where this rant's coming from, but surrender. I trust divine flow. So you're settling into a new emotional landscape after a lot of transformation. You're asserting your new strength and confidence after a lot of inner battles, a lot of Five of Wands energy going on internally. The outside, the external is a mirror, and it's reflecting back to you all the things that you are not okay with, that trigger you, and it's giving you material to look deeper into yourself and finding out where these things are coming from. It's just absolutely beautiful. King of the Fairies, approaching his domain. Connection to mystical realms, mastery of the unseen forces. You are mastering so much. Compassion emerging from power, not because power has to have a balance, you know. Feminine emotional wisdom is very important here. Also, something about children in Halloween costumes indulging in various pranks. Transcending fear through play and acceptance of the shadow. Fully understanding who you are, as much as you can know at this point in time, the mechanics of this whole experience being the all, the one. You know, God is a thermometer, and there's a shadow side and there's a light side, and understanding that God and source is and is through everything. It's in every single thing. Everything has consciousness. That's why you can actually talk to things and have a relationship with them. So together, you've painted a picture of emotional maturity, integration of your shadow, and an emergence into joy after intensity. So you're going to be entering a time of play, of joy, of fun, but also helping and serving. Wow. There's often a powerful initiatory path in this lifetime, especially around emotional transformation, relationships, and spiritual mastery. The person carries strong healing or psychic abilities, but must go through cycles of death and rebirth to fully harness them. Once evolved, they become teachers of transmutation, guiding others through darkness into light. So it could have been like touch and go, like, oh, I'm ready. No, I'm not. Oh, I'm ready. No, I'm not. Because you were dipping yourself into the subconscious continuously, and then going back within yourself and healing or being aware, bringing things up into your awareness so that you could fully look at them and reclaim your power back from them. No more fears, no more, oh, I don't like talking about that. It's like, no, if I feel that way, then it needs to be explored. And you gain your life force energy back. You gain fragments of your soul. I want to add this in here because maybe tonight you'll be outside and you'll have time to do this. Throwing the shoe divination spell. So on your dominant foot, preferably a pair of shoes you've been wearing all day, when it's the end of the day today, go outside, hold the shoe in your dominant hand, whatever shoe you wear with your dominant foot, and say, what's in the future? The shoe shall show. Reveal to me what I must know. An intention, full focus on those words. Okay, here's a little screenshot if you want to clip it. Saying those words. Throw the shoe as high as you can in the air, or if you can, if it's possible. Take a look at how the shoe has landed to get an idea of what the future holds. If it's pointing so the toes are closest to your house, it means you're not going anywhere anytime soon. Toes pointing away indicates there's a journey in the near future. The sole of the shoe on the ground means you've got stability and security. But the sole facing up is an indicator that things are shaky and unstable. If the shoe lands on its side, watch out for some completely unexpected news coming your way. Try it, okay? These are really good ways to play with the universe and interact with spirit, for the highest good of all. Being specific when you do these things, be like, I'm doing this for fun and play and curiosity, and for betterment, for the betterment of all humanity, like whatever. Adding that little bit in though does really help, like with your intentions. Like everything is about intentions, you guys. So yeah, come back and let me know how it goes. I would love to hear. I'm gonna do it myself tonight. So also yesterday was a work promotion spell, so I don't know if you had a work promotion or you were interested or thinking about it. Spirit is saying go for it. Maybe even screenshot this little doodad and perform it. Yeah, I love these little things. Aww, I dropped it. Please be drinking your water. Okay, water is a conductor and it helps with these messages when they're coming in. Nice house, ugly heart. 1435. Man, guys, things are going to be getting so much better. So much better. Give something you love away. This shows, this is good for practicing the art of detachment, Maybe you have something, but you don't really use it, but you really love it. And maybe it's like sentimental or something, but you know somebody else that can benefit from it. Giving it willingly because you know, like genuine gratitude or giving, because giving and receiving. Yeah. Or maybe this is something you did. The herd that says it's bad. Robin Williams. There was a joke that Robin Williams made about just, you know, the mockers, and they just kind of follow the leader and they're like, that's bad. Nothing is inherently bad. Everything has a light and a shadow aspect. So if you can find the light aspect, stay in that light aspect and focus on that. But also don't ignore the red flags. That way you can move accordingly. I love Robin Williams. Something about the medicine wheel, gaining control of the self and knowing thyself. I think, I feel, I do. So Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Also talks about Excalibur, and X marks the spot. I was definitely in a huge esoteric when I wrote that card. So maybe you're experiencing some super potent spiritual energies. Again, a lot of water to help ground you. Pen and paper to write down anything that you're feeling and experiencing. It's really beneficial. If I could go back in time and change something, but I learned from that mistake, and now I make sure that I have pens and papers and journals so that it's easy access, and I just push myself, like all you gotta do is pick it up and get it out, write it down, and it's magic. You guys can create magic with your writing. Yeah, there's been a lot of integration. You've learned so much, and it's coming to a head. I feel like the next couple of weeks of meditation and just gratitude and going over your story and how much you've overcome, reinforcing that belief of you're never alone, and that when you have that balance of that medicine wheel, thinking, feeling, and doing, using all the elements in their balanced aspect of like, you can consume as long as you're creating, as long as you're sharing and you're not gatekeeping stuff. Now, we do not share with certain people whose consciousness is not at a state to accept or interpret what you're saying, because you could be saying something very genuine with good intentions, but they're seeing through cloudy filters of trauma, or they don't have the context to understand. So really fun, like here online, us talking about these types of things, this is a connection. I know that I personally do not get this type of connection outside of my own bubble that I ended up forming to experience this, because you can go out and share these things with everyday people, and you're going to get a lot of backlash, evil eye, people that don't understand, so they're going to project onto you. So really just reveling in it yourself, and with spirit, and playing with your magic, playing with your reality and the world you've been gifted. Crystals, books, meditation, pillow, cushion. That's what I'm talking about. Getting crystals, investigating, exploring, falling in love with yourself and the universe and spirit. It's amazing. It's amazing. DNA upgrades. Yeah, so this is coming up under something, give something you love away. It's crazy how we might be missing one little element, and when we do something that we're led and guided to do, instead of making up excuses, and we're just obedient and we do it, and we're not looking into the future, oh, what am I going to get from this, or expectations. It's just, I was guided to do this. It reminds me of that story of that 4-year-old boy that gave away a bunch of toys, and his mom was like, you know, it's really nice that you're doing this, but why? And he just said, God told me. What are you going to say to that? What are you going to say to that? Spirit works through all. Everyone. Just some people are unconscious, or they have fear, and the fear is false. The fear is trying to keep them away from investigating more of themselves. You know, spirit is not all light. There is darkness. And it has to be brought to the surface. Instead of shying away, it's a strength. It is not a weakness. Your vulnerability, you talking, but as long as you've healed it, as long as you can speak about the situation in a more positive light, an uplifting light, because you found the lesson. You're thankful for that lesson. You're thankful for that terrible thing that you went through because it led you to a truth. And that was the whole point. Protection practices daily. So other people could be saying, oh, what you're doing, your practices, your state, all that, it's evil, witch, blah, blah. That's all false. They're brainwashed. They're under an illusion that has been propagated. Propaganda. They want people to feel shame and guilt for exploring these things so that they won't. So they won't have the energetic frequency to deal with it because they have all these demons and fears. And I know because I was one of these people not too long ago. I remember even saying out loud, like, if my mom's side of the family saw me doing this, you know, it would be the end of the world for them. And the moment I said that, like, it opened up a whole floodgate of ancestral trauma. And it was insane. It was a lot to handle. And if I had known, instead of going in blind, I had no idea about any of the stuff that I'm talking about now at the time. Your protection practices, your prayers, your affirmations, or your calling in spirit, your light team, you know, so that they can do the other 50%. So you can do your best, your 50%, and their 50%. But other people might be saying, oh, that's bad. No, nothing is inherently bad. It's all about intention and how you're directing the energy. That is their fear. That is them projecting onto you because they don't have the context, they don't have the understanding or the knowledge or life experience that you do, and that's okay. Just keep it moving. It's a process. Everyday actions add up. Remember, 5 small steps daily. Yes, it's the micro habits that build firm foundations. It's not instant gratification, so it's going to be long lasting. It's like my workouts 12 years ago that started. I was almost size 13. I had dimples going down to my knees, and I just decided to walk a block. That block turned into 3, and then a week or 2 goes by, and I start running a couple blocks. It was that, and then next thing I know, I've been doing things ever since. It's the micro habits. It has to start small. If you're not used to meditating, or you're not meditating as much as you would like, break it up. Break it up into like a couple minutes in the morning, a couple minutes in the afternoon, a couple minutes at night, or just one time out of the day, because it will accumulate. Your neurons, your brain, your unconscious, like, oh, this is something that we're starting to do. And it takes log, and it helps imprint that energy so it forms a healthy, continuous habit. And you're not like struggling to hold yourself accountable, because the promises we make to ourselves, if we are putting other people first and saying no to ourselves, we know that we should be meditating, we should be going for that jog and disconnecting from everything. But instead we go and help Tom, Dick, and Sally. I'm not saying not to help people. I'm saying that you need to take care of yourself first. This is a new way of being, and we have to start putting ourselves and our mental health and our needs first, so that we can then deal with situations in the best way possible. And yes, it's a process. This medicine wheel, gaining control of self, knowing self, the Excalibur, becoming empowered and knowing that your thoughts become things. Your thoughts, your feelings, help them become things. That's why we don't settle. Be honest. I've been feeling a very energy this morning. Like I laid it out for my son. I'm like, this is what I need from you. This is what we're buckling down. And I think it was like a Matthew McConaughey video with his son that really got me inspired, because when I see a divine masculine, which is very rare, that's very rare for me to actually be able to find, and Matthew McConaughey and the way his parents raised him and their mentality of sitting down and speaking, and that's something that me and my son struggle with right now. And I know I can't be doing everything myself. So allowing spirit to help bring in people that are going to help us better connect and talk and communicate, whether it's from a video that I'm led to or not. My son really did buckle down, and he realized Mom is not going to answer the questions for me, because I picked up what he was doing. He was training me. You know, our kids can do that. They are our life lessons. They are how we elevate. They are mirroring things back to us that we need to learn to best facilitate us for the future time coming. Okay? And yeah, I went from mom mode to dad mode really quickly. And if you know, I probably shouldn't be talking about these things, but we don't have family. We do have family, you guys and the unseen realm, but here physically in the 3D, it's non-existent for us. Now we are rebuilding, and I tell him all the time, these are the types of people, you know, ones that help us feel enlightened. Okay, that's not what I said. People that we get to uplift each other and encourage each other and learn from each other and be honest with each other and love each other. You know, there's just a lot of cycling out of the old energies that I will no longer tolerate. And when that day finally comes and the external is matching up with my internal, I've already had a little taste. I've already seen a little bit of what I'm stepping into and what these future relationships are going to look like and that I'm going to look like. And it gets me really excited, but I also know that I'm still filtering out and laying down boundaries and teaching others how I want to be treated so that I can be the best me that I can be. Yeah, sometimes I don't even feel like I need these cards. It's getting to the point where I just need to start a channel and just talk about the experiences, because that's where my strength lies. Like DUI, somebody who has a nice house but an ugly heart got a DUI. They could actually be trying to meditate, or I don't know, maybe they're getting books and crystals and pillow cushions because they got a DUI. Sun gazing. Ooh, wow, that's cool. Both of these cards have eyes on them. All eyes on them. Pay attention. Someone is doing something underhanded. Sun gazing. I would sun gaze either first thing in the morning when it's coming up or right before it's going down, because it's just better for your eyes. Or put on sunglasses if you're looking at it in the middle of the day. Allow those light codes to come in. Give gratitude. Say thank you, sun. You know, it's alive. It's a living entity, and think like it's got a spirit. It's got a soul. Like it's alive, for sure. Thank you for that confirmation. So somebody is doing something underhanded. Insomnia. Someone wants you to take what they say as your own truth. Don't. Someone wants you to take their truth as your truth so something will happen. So it's almost like this is giving me like when parents know that their child is gifted, so they basically get them to abuse their power. Trauma before 3 years of age activates the amygdala oblongata, which is linked to emotional responses, motivation, and memory. Fight or flight response, stress response, shrinking the hippocampus, which plays a crucial role. Remember the seahorse, the hippocampus is a seahorse when you see seahorses, which plays a crucial role in forming new memories, learning, and spatinal navigation. So if we experience trauma before the age of 3, it can be really hard for the individual to be in alignment with their body. You know, how do I say that? There's a lot of cortisol, which can hinder hormones growth, the fight or flight response. So possibly doing some subconscious reprogramming, or going just not even knowing what actually happened and just setting the intention, going into a trance or just calm and stillness, and requesting that the trauma be resolved, to be healed, that you had a protector there. That's what would have been ideal for the situation. We're still accepting, we're not being delusional. We're accepting the truth of a situation, that somebody was abused or went through trauma before the age of 3, and that the body can now relax. It's safe. It's no longer that time, and giving yourself what you needed. I know this sounds crazy, but say a 3-year-old or 2-year-old had gotten beaten or almost starved, and now they have had a lot of eating disorders or whatever the situation may be. You can visually go back in time and just pretend that you're giving food to that little version, that somebody had come by and given that little version of you food. And that's healing the timeline. That's what should have happened. That's what should have taken place. It didn't, but you're now giving it to yourself. It's very powerful. It's a very powerful practice. If people can actually sit down, get still and quiet enough to do it. Confirmation. People would rather be doing. Oh, nothing's gonna happen because I'm not doing something. That's a belief that is false. It's about rest and going within into the mind. You can save yourself years. People prolong their life by meditating and doing certain practices and reprogramming their beliefs by going within. And by doing this, that's crazy because it's coming up under DNA upgrades. So maybe that's what you're supposed to be giving away. Give this trauma, give whatever it is, or maybe you're dealing with somebody that has experienced this and you're wanting to help them in some way, and getting them to be silent and be quiet and go within and say whatever it is that hurt you, allowing them to cry. They could spontaneously start crying because it's an emotional release. And when this takes place, there's going to be room. Somebody's making room for DNA upgrades. 575 haiku poetry. This is a spell. This is magic. This is how you communicate to the universe, to your higher self. Bring in the things that you need. Be vulnerable and honest about how you're feeling, because by doing this, it's a protection. You are literally you're protecting yourself by doing this. The power is in the word, in what you say and how you feel when you're saying it. So by writing, by sitting down and making some art with your words, you're creating protection for yourself. I mean, scriptures are just written, and they were written very powerfully, but you can do the same thing. You can write your own scriptures for your own life. And it actually, when you create your own, that's what Spirit wants us to do, is to create. We're supposed to, all of us, to keep creating new things so Spirit can live through us. Pathological liar about the stupidest things. You are going to be you're going to be a human lie detector test. Because this is coming up under think, feel, do. Everyday actions add up. You are building your subtle energies. You're building your abilities. And because very mentally strong, very mentally and emotionally and doing strong. Like you follow your intuition, what you're guided to do. You're able to think and feel and understand when somebody is lying. Because you're doing all of these practices and you're upgrading your system. You're giving things that you no longer want away. Also, there you could be either you're hearing news that somebody ended up getting karma, or that Spirit is you've been getting inklings that karma is being served to somebody else because you're on the up and up. You're coming up, so they are experiencing a downfall, possibly getting a DUI because they wanted these things for you, but I don't see, you're just like, I don't want it, you're giving it away. You're like, I don't want anything to do with that anymore. That's a good, smart move. Also, we have a ruby, a raw form of ruby for the crystal today. Watch out for those GMOs. Yucca app, using that Yucca app, YUKA, to scan your packages, whatever you're buying at the grocery stores. Just make sure that there's some kind of nutritional value, and also that there's no chemicals, addictive chemicals that are in them. And again, all of it adds up. It's holistic. When we check the boxes off on this, oh, that's right, the medicine wheel, also including your children and letting them know what you've discovered, and that you know that truths constantly evolve. It's never just going to stay that one truth, but we do get spoon-fed truths to lead us. But I believe that we can find a shortcut, and instead of them having to deprogram everything, we should be able to program them, not program them, but share the information that we have learned now, so they don't have to go through all of that stuff. It's like, hey, yeah, they do teach you this, but in reality, that's not the truth anymore. We have elevated, like, look back in history, truth constantly evolves and upgrades, okay? It's never a definitive truth, and truths can evolve for each person. Your truth can be different from my truth, but we can both be right. We can both, we were both true. I don't know how to say that. Okay, whatever. One event, two perspectives. That's funny. One positive. So there could be a situation that takes place. Two people. So two different perspectives. One person's going to take it positive. The other one's going to take it negative. I feel like you take things very positive. You find the silver lining, the positive aspect. And if you don't, this is a good thing to start practicing. Like, where's the silver lining? Where's the positivity in this situation? Where's the lesson or the delayed gratification that's going to come in the long run? Because the delayed gratification is much, much better. Because it's sustainable. Because it's got that longevity to it, because you've been so consistent at whatever it is. Genie. You're a genie in a bottle. When you write these haikus, you have protection. A genie could actually be protecting you, or you relate to being a jinn when certain people come to you and they're open and they're honest and they're vulnerable, and spirit knows their soul and they know their soul, and that they are grateful and deserving and all these things. You actually act like a genie. You are a genie in a bottle. And also your poetry, your writings, your protection. They want to say it's bad. It's not. Nothing is inherently bad. We have Masons, the Masonic Lodge. That's never fun. 3727. So you have some Masons and spirit, and you have been training yourself, honing your skills, your abilities, getting your DNA upgrades so that you can be this walking lie detector test. Like, this is so cool. All these actions are adding up every single day. But like, think, feel, do. This is what I'm getting. Being a human lie detector test, so you know exactly the energies that are around you and you can move accordingly. Like when not to speak to them. When you're not acting better than them, even though, to be honest, you are, like, you just, yeah. Because some of these people know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. This is Star Wars. It's a real thing going on, you guys. I don't know much about like the Eastern, like even with me being raised and by Masons, it is very secret, and they do use their family. And some of them are so low on the totem pole that they don't even know that they're being used by the higher ups. You must be really powerful, because you have to remember, if all of these people are coming up against you and challenging you and trying to set you back and delay you, do you know how powerful you are? Think about it. Think about it. That way you can change your perspective from like paranoid or, oh, this person's doing this and they're out to get me. It's actually flattery, because if all of these individuals are creating issues, creating drama, trying to get you held back, getting your attention focused on something else, or bothered, getting you riled up, think about it. Start laughing. Just start laughing, because the moment they're trying to get you riled up, you got to remind yourself, like, I must be super powerful and have a huge calling over my life if this is constantly happening to me. Yes, baby. Past life regression. Maybe that's something you want to look into, or that you did. And you're learning who you were in a past life and your abilities that you can use to your advantage here. in this life. Not crazy spiritual awakening. Nope. Not crazy at all. What's crazy is what they have people believing about this world and their power and just constantly giving it away. Abraham Hicks could be significant. Electron and proton connection. Don't forget about getting your photons from the sun, because that is literally the essence of God. Left and right hemispheres in the brain connect. This is coming up under DNA upgrades. You are syncing up. Your right and your left are syncing up. Two become one. I'm also getting from this. I know breath work that plays a huge role in helping sync up your right and left hemisphere, which we know is the pituitary and the pineal gland, and the pituitary will secrete the nectar, the what do they call it, milk and honey. That's why it's in the brain, the pineal and the pituitary gland, and when they sync up and they're in alignment, they can actually carry the fluid where it needs to go in order to have that DMT, like Christos, connected to all, experiencing the light of God and through the eyes of God. I hope somebody knows what I'm talking about, because otherwise, yeah, I mean, sometimes I know people can relate to it, and other times they're looking at me like, I don't understand what you're saying, and I'm like, I know other people have had these experiences. And I'm not talking about plant medicine. I'm talking about just breath work and focusing on energy and bringing it up. Oh, something about your neighbors, a new person. You are becoming a whole new person. A whole new person with all this work you're doing on yourself. You are only afraid because it's unfamiliar. So yes, people are afraid, you get afraid, I get afraid when something is just unfamiliar, okay? And what does Dr. Joe Dispenza talk about? We are comfortable, our comfort zones, because it's very familiar, and no growth will happen there. But the more we create these habits of stepping outside of our comfort zone, we can come back into it, but venturing out, coming back in, venturing out, coming back in. It's an ebb and flow. Everything comes in waves. Neuroplasticity, creating new pathways. This is what you're doing. You're doing the really deep psychological, scientific, spiritual work. It's not just one thing or another. You are holistic. You are dipping into all aspects of spirit, and like, oh my God, spirit's so creative and all these different ways to express itself. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. God, spirit, you're amazing. You're amazing. You're amazing. I knew there was more. Ask spirit every day. Oh, wait. With focus and clarity, show me what I need to see. Call it in, you guys. Anything you're confused about, you've got help on the other side. We just can forget that we have that power and that we can ask for anything. And then giving space for it to come in. And that trust and that faith and that knowing that you're meant for so much more than you ever thought possible, because most people don't think it's possible, but you do. You know it within your bones. Lovely bones. Oh my God. Oh, I love you. I love you. I love you. Oh, they're so pretty. They're, just immaculate. Okay, Holy Spirit. You know what? You're right. We're just going to say laters to these. And then we're just going to pull up a quick Celtic cross because we are 44 minutes in. I love you guys. If you're still here, thank you for being with me. Thank you, thank you. This whole new cycle, this whole new chapter of our lives is going to be so exciting. The things we're going to create, the future things we're going to get to see. 3 of Cups, celebration, yeah. singing and dancing in the rain, doing things that we know we deserve, fully taking care of ourselves, making things ourselves, pouring that energy back into ourselves instead of being dependent on, I don't know, whether you're getting your hair done. Just learning to do these things yourself has a great reward to it energetically. 5 of Pentacles coming up in the challenge position, of course. Some kind of lack mindset, finding the silver lining, finding the positive aspect. Like with that card that said, 1 event, 2 perspectives. Finding that higher perspective, calling in for that higher perspective. It will eventually change. We have to give it time. We have to be consistent. Like, Spirit, I'm done. The chapter of lack mindset and putting things in a box, it can't come to me unless it's this way or this way, this way. Just saying the outcome, what you want to happen. And then allowing space for Spirit to work its magic to come in. Knowing that you're always supported. Even in tough times, you will be supported. Nine of Cups in your subconscious, a wish fulfillment. Your subconscious knows something. Your subconscious is very happy and pleased with you emotionally too. 6 of Cups. Protection, nostalgia, childlike wonder. You know, like how comfortable children feel when they know, like, they don't have to worry about rent. They don't have to worry about having a place to sleep or getting food. They know that they are fully protected. And that, because from this deck, that's what this card talks about. But you could also be going through a little nostalgia. I mean, I was talking about going over your story and realizing all the things that you've overcome, all the things that you've done that nobody thought you probably didn't even think that you could do, but you had faith and trust in yourself and you kept pushing through, and you're amazing. Like you you didn't let others bug you or bother you. And just recently, you could have experienced a shift in the energy. You closed out a cycle. We're closing out a lot of different types of cycles, but this was a major cycle. Near future, 2 of Cups. Union within self, union. There's swans back here, divine unions, twin flames. You guys, it's happening. It's happening all over the planet and the earth. I hear it in people's voices. I hear it in stories on the internet. I see it in the cafes. The people that are meant to be together are coming together. They are working together. And I am not talking about sex. Get it out of your mind. I'm talking about true divine love, support, equanimity, receptive. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the word. Put it in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, you're coming into spiritual union. We got 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 6 of Cups. This is a lot of emotional fulfillment. This is like the feeling of like, wow, I've done something huge here. What is their energy? I'm getting childlike wonder. I'm getting a little bit of emotional immaturity, but it might be caused by excitement. Again, another cup, 48-38. We have 5 out of 7 cards. We have cups. We have 5 cups. 5 cards that are cups, I should say. You're listening to intuitive messages. You're really feeling yourself. I'm feeling myself, feeling myself, feeling myself, feeling myself. Yeah, my crown is starting to tingle right here. I see a dolphin too. I'm not gonna take it, but the King of Swords was peeking behind this Ace of Pentacles, or Ace of Wands. I mean, your environment is, you have the ability to access this energy in your environment right now. Passion, a spark, some kind of raw energy of willpower. You guys, the star. Spirit wants you to remember that you are healing, that you are in communication with the higher realms, and there's a lot taking place. Again, here's all this, holding all that cup energy, all that emotion. And I feel like it's accumulating to help with you creating something. Whoa! All right, let's try that again. Outcome, possible outcome. I feel like this is just encouragement, letting you know that everything is adding up. All that information, every little new habit that you have created for yourself is creating this bubble of protection. But remember to let your guard down and also be vulnerable and honest, because it's more of being able to move in this world knowing that you have all the resources to handle any situation and that you can always go within. You can always be silent. You can always just observe. But if you do have this energy coming at you, you know that you are defended. You have protection on multiple levels. But this is, I'm thinking of the light seers with the bubble when she's just meditating and there's energies coming up against her, but she pays no mind. Yeah. And this wand is giving me this Ace of Wands down here, like taking your wand up to create, like kill them with kindness. Yes, the High Priestess. Using your intuition for the Seven of Wands energy. Knowing when it's necessary and when it's needed and when it's not. Whoa, Strength and the Knight of Wands. You are taking back your courage. You're getting back on some kind of creator path. You could have had to take a little sabbatical. Take some time off to collect yourself, to fully integrate what you had recently been through in the past couple of years. Yeah, loving, nurturing, grounded, and supported. I would definitely try that spell tonight with your shoe. Yeah. And see where the toes are pointed, where the soul is. The soul. If it's pointed up, if it's pointed down, if the toes are pointed to the house, if it's pointed away from the house. Yeah, it's so fun and creative the way Spirit we can test things and actually, and it's funny if people are like, oh, that's, that's whatever, it doesn't mean anything. Write it down and see what happens then. And you will blow yourself away that there are so many simple, creative ways that we can communicate with our higher selves, with God, with Source, whoever you resonate with, to pull in answers that are much needed. Queen of Cups, Knight of Cups, Seven of Pentacles. You have been spreading your love for a very, very long time. Very long time. Giving out to the world, seeing the beauty in nature and in all things, in the journey, in the growth of everything that you do. Wheel of Fortune. It's time. It's time for this change. It's time for love and true justice to be served, and the right people to be put in places of power and authority. I mean, that's what so everything that's going to be coming in the coming years, it can, if we focus on the negative, of course that's what we're going to end up feeling. But if we focus on the positive and see into the future, like this is happening for a reason, so that something later on can be even better. Okay, let's just change our perspective on how we view things, and then we can change the world. All right, I love you. The universe loves you. Everything's working out for your best and your highest good. Until next time, guys.